Hello and welcome to On the Kerbs. I'm your host, Team Albus Daily. Joining me this week is off-road and rally driver Marion Andrieu. We caught up recently to chat about how she got into motorsport, the Spanish Baja, advice to other women looking to get into motorsport, and plenty more. So without any more further ado, let's just get straight into it, and I hope you enjoy our conversation. Hi Marion, thank you for being here today. First of all, how are you?
I'm pretty fine, thank you, and very, very happy to be there. And it's a pleasure to talk about you today and with you today.
Well, it's going to be a pleasure listening to you about all of it as well. So, first question that I ask everyone: what first got you into motorsport?
So I will say that I'm born in this sport. My father was a racer also and a driver. So since I'm pretty young, I'm on that middle and on the rally. So it's where my passion come from.
So it's just always been there, like you say. And you were in the Dakar earlier this year. Tell us how you did there and what that was all like.
So the rally this year was, as always, pretty awesome. I was not competing. I was a part of the race, but for the organization, it's of course my dream, absolute dream to compete. And I'm working right now with my co-driver to find enough sponsor to be part of this race, because the challenge is huge for the race. Is the hardest one in the world, maybe the nicest also, but the big and first challenge is to find the money to be part of this race. So this year I had my second year this year, so I had the chance to be part of the race with the organization. So I'm driving on the race. I'm driving on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Some people from the organization, like, can be photographer or people from cameraman.
Yeah. So I think from the look of it, it just looked like you were part of it. So that's why I made the mistake.
Yeah, I was part of it, but actually just behind the race. But I was very close from the stage because I was on it. But for sure, my absolute dream is to be part of this race. My father did it 4 times in the past in Africa. So since I'm like 5 years, something like that, I'm absolutely dreaming about doing this race. It's my absolute goal. So I hope that with my co-driver, we will succeed to
fingers crossed.
Yeah, to be part of this race.
It'd be great to see that as well. Like you seem to be getting closer the longer period of time than this year. You're right there. So it's like, come on, I might as well just let me get in the car. Then
it's really inside, I would say. Like it really gives you envious to be part of this race. You can touch also the difficulties, because you are it's what you dreams, what you think, and when you are there, you touch from the fingers all the difficulties, all this work, how the race work. And it's also for me a pretty good experience to be part of it. And I think it will help if we succeed to do it. It will really help us, this experience.
I was going to say as well, the experience you got this year, it kind of, like you say, you get to learn things that you might not have got the opportunity to otherwise, and you don't know how that can quite help you when you do it. But it's nice to have that kind of insight, like you say.
Experience is sometimes you have, I know pretty well this middle because I'm born in this middle. But you have things that you dream, that you think, you have people who talk to you and say, oh, it was like that this year, and on the stage, always story about race. But when you are in the stage, so you can see the difficulties for sure of the race, like how to drive or what can be the difficulties on it. But you have to also think about some liaison and some stuff like that can be pretty long and pretty hard. So it gives you other keys, other points to think about and say, how we can manage that. And you have to think about that. Don't forget that, some very few little points who I think when you are racing, it's really help you a lot.
And so sometimes it's the little things that cause more problems than the big things.
It make the difference. The details make always the difference.
Definitely. So then last year as well, you were at the Baja in Spain. Tell us about that.
Yeah. I was part of the Baja. So the one race from the World Championship in rally. So it's my third time that I'm doing this race. It was a year a bit unlucky, actually. We had a lot of pressure, but I was racing with a co-driver. It was the first time that we was racing together. So his name is Or. So I didn't know well the cars. Really, just they give me the cars and I just start the race, and I never tested before, so it was a bit complex. And also with my co-driver, we didn't know each other pretty well. I mean, we know each other humanly, not on the race. So we have the few first stage we have to know each other and discover a bit the car also. But the race is very beautiful. It's a mix between rally red and rally 100K. So, and this very narrow track is a very, very nice race. But we not crashed the car, but we put the car on the roof. So we finished the stage.
Just testing the limits.
Yeah. No, it was like, it's happened. I mean, it's happened. It's can happen. Anyway, we finished the stage, so we put it again on the wheel. We restart. We finish without windscreen, and then we have some problem on the steering during the stage. So I did 80 kilometers without steering.
Ooh, that must have been tough.
I mean, I don't like steering, so it was pretty tough without windscreen and without steering. It was pretty tough, but we finished the race.
And say that's an
not good as in the position, not good as we expect. The 2 last years, I did 20 at the final classement. So it wasn't bad. It wasn't so bad actually, but this year I think 40 something.
But we lost no steering and no windscreen, so it's not too bad.
That is also gave us good experience, and this kind of big trouble during a race give you strength for the next one, and if you're able to analyze that and fix where you wasn't good and where you can be better for the next one, it give you a lot of experience. So I'm still like not happy about this performance, and it really affects me. But on the other side also, I learn about my mistakes, and I learn about how to be more performant on this kind of problem. So I analyze
you're definitely getting
it's not going to happen again, but I hope that I will be better if it happens again.
So yeah, definitely, you seem to be getting a lot of experience out of the way, and like you say, it bothers you when things go wrong, so you're determined to then fix them. So it's frustrating maybe at the time to have to deal with those things, but at least you can get something out of them to help you later.
Yeah, of course, we are there for racing. So when you have a problem like that, and when you lose a lot of time, it's always frustrating. I'm a very competitive person, so I was really pissed off against myself. Like, okay, it's can happen. We all pilots did mistakes, but it's always super frustrating.
Do you have any fun racing related stories that you can share?
Funny? I don't know. It's always when it's pretty tough and when you are troubled, that is the best memories. The funny one is one time I had in a stage, so in a French championship, I had like not a crash. I didn't crash, but I hurt. I smashed very strong a side of the stage, and so
just kissing it slightly.
Like, and the car was almost like that. I was seeing the tarmac on by the windows of my co-driver. And so we continue, and the car stopped, and I said I had a problem, like a technical problems. And so I went out from the car, and it was just a puncture, but I was like, touching, my head smashed the door, and we was a bit confused, And I was young also, so with less experience maybe. And so we decided to change the wheels in the stage. And we was in a very soft field.
Okay, yeah.
So we put the quick, but the we can't. And so I run, and my co-driver say, "What are you doing?" And so I run across all the field, and I was removing the fan,
Yeah.
the fan. I can say.
Yeah,
So I was removing one piece of wood, and I came back with that on my shoulder, and she's like, "But are you stupid? Are you crazy? No, trust me, we will succeed." And then we changed the wheels, and it was full of public. And when I came back last year, one guys arrived and funny and asked me, you will no, are you going to remove my fan again? It was the owner of the field.
so you got a reputation there.
But we finished the race, and we win the race. Actually, we win the race.
Well, that's the main thing. At least you did it and it worked out. It's not, so that's something. What would you say would have been your biggest challenge in motorsport so far then?
What will be my biggest challenge?
Hmm.
For sure, the challenge that I will be part is the Dakar, for sure.
In terms of what you've had to deal with so far, I mean, in your career.
In the past, you mean?
Yeah.
Experience is something that you have to get, and this is pretty tough to, and sometimes it's hard to get it. It's touch you pretty deeply, and to be, I think, good driver, you need to have some big and crash and stop racing, and is how to learn. It's very difficult, but you have to go by and pass by this experience to be better after. Something else I will say, to understand your competitors, also your main competitors, is very important, and to learn about your car. You have to make a strategy. You have to. It's very sports that people don't maybe understand deeply. Sometimes they just see like a car who's driving fast, but it's more than that. It's our team. They have the work that you prepare before the race, so to have no problem during the race, or less problem as you can. And a super good team is also important, to know very well each other. And also it's very important for me to know perfectly my car. So it's take me time also to learn about my car, how it works, the small noise, who is it, what is it, is that be very important or not, should I stop or not, all these small details. Also where I'm very good, where I'm less good, so where I have to be better, where I can be faster. Main competitors, it takes time to analyze them, how they work, where they are good or not, all together. So all together give you strength and make you more competitive, and is the key, honestly, of the success.
I was going to say then, it kind of works nicely for my next question. Would you say that experience would be, or to get experience and these kind of focus on these aspects of it, would be the advice you would give to other women trying to get into motorsports, is to get that experience, as much of it as possible?
It's really a question who come back often. For sure, we are not very much women in the sports, especially in off-road. But I'm very surprised, since 5 years there are more and more women who performed. And for me, the most important is, if you want to be part of a race, you have to be considered a woman or man, no problem, that's no difference for me. It's a sport who give you the opportunity to be good. I mean, you are fighting against the time, so it's not as when you are, for example, with a helmet, and when they can see your hair or something like that, and when you are all in the same track. So for me, when you have the chance to compete against the time, you have all necessary and all the skills to be very good. And for me also, the important things is to always, if you want to be a woman in this middle, you have to be like a normal competitor. You don't have to say, because I'm a woman, I'm doing that. No, just okay, I'm a driver, and
Yeah.
and not make the excuse to be a woman. You want to play that game, play it well, and make you like the respect. You have to. For myself, I really, I just said, they really respect me, but as a competitor, for that, and they have other women who race in my categories, and some of them was less respected and considered as a woman. It's strange what I was saying, but they always consider me as almost as a man, like, because I was fighting, and it was pretty hard, and we had some hard fight together. So yeah,
But it's like you say before, if you're competing and you like you've got the helmet on, you're in the car, and you have to do a quick time, and it's all just based off time. As soon as the time is quick, then no one cares if you're a man or a woman, or you're like you're the quickest person, or you're this quick. So you don't need to be focusing on gender there. Just who's the better driver.
Exactly, and I'm pretty sure that women have another eyes on the race. I will say they are thinking maybe differently, or compensating the physical skills. So I think we have a different approach, and I really touched that during few race, that we have really another eyes, and we compete differently, and is very an advantage. So if women wants to start, this race is very open, and now is more and more common on that, and we can really see that more women are in a high level and compete and wins. This year especially, they have women like Cristina Gutierrez or Akel from Saudi who win this year the FIA championship. So it's something that is more and more common,
and hopefully gets you into the Dakar soon as well.
I hope so.
So aside from rallying, would you want to try any other forms of motorsport, or is rallying the one true love?
Actually, I was racing other sports before rallying. What? I was doing cross ATV.
Yes.
Cross. So it's why by what I start when I was younger.
Okay.
So I stopped at 17 because I had an injury on my knee, and then I started the race with my father like that. I was co-driver at the beginning, and he registered on a rally and said me just like 2 days before, "Oh, you will be my co-driver," and said, "What?" And is how I started the rally. So I started first of all co-driver during 1 year, and we had a big crash with my father. So then we stopped together, and then I started driving. But for sure, I'm always happy to be part of other motorsports experience. So I already tried circuits with cars, and for me, it's like a very complementary sports, and each sport has its skills, like specific skills. And so for me, everything is like good to take, like experience to take. One for maybe will give you more precise things. Another one will be to recognize the track. Everything is different. Every motorsports race are different.
So it's always interesting to see what you can take from one to the other to see exactly how it works.
I compete in endurance.
Oh yeah.
I compete in endurance. I compete in rally. I compete in circuits. All these three kind of race give you different skills and give you different. If you want to perform in this kind of race, or you have to have a
little bit of everything.
And at the end, the rally for me, it give you, or you touch almost all of these three. For example, the Baja is pretty long, so it's not an approach of the rally that I'm doing in France. So the rally here in France are pretty short stage and pretty fast. We do Rocky before, so it's a kind of super fast rally. And for example, the rally like the Baja is 200k, and you don't have Rocky before, so it's a kind of mix between a rally and an endurance. You have to manage your effort and keep conscious that you have to don't race like 200%, but maybe 60 to be have a gap if something happened, you know. So all things experience and eyes, I think. I don't know if I can say that in English, but vision.
Yeah. I was going to say then, are there any other rally drivers that you would like to work with in the future?
For sure, the best. I'm really impressed by Nasser Al-Attiyah. Is someone, and Peter Hansel, of course. There's someone that I really would like to meet and meet deeply, because I already had the chance to talk with them, but like working with them because they have a lot of experience and they are very nice people also. So it's like of course a dream to have the chance to race with or train with.
And then a couple of fun questions just to finish off that don't really have anything to do with motorsport. What's your favorite film?
My favorite film? I'm a kind of person who like a lot of things and a lot of different things, but I will say the movie on the guys with this India motorbike on the Bonneville Lake, first fastest Indian motorbike. I pretty appreciate this movie.
So I don't think I've seen that, but I can add it to my list now and I'll check that.
You should. It's an awesome movie.
And then finally, if you weren't in motorsport and you had to choose a different sport that you would love to be like really competitive in, what would you choose?
I was a handball player in the past, so I pretty appreciate this sport.
Oh, that was an easy answer for you then.
Yeah, I was studying in the handball, and then I had some injuries, so I moved to the motorsport.
And then you don't have the steering, and it comes back again. Yeah. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you today. I want to thank you for talking with me and wish you the best of luck with everything for this year and moving forward. Thank you so much. It was also a pleasure. It's always a pleasure for me to talk. It's really my passion. I'm really born on that. So it's always really a pleasure to talk and share some experience. Definitely comes across. Thank you. Thanks again to Marion for coming onto the Kerbs with me, and I wish her the best of luck for the rest of 2022 and beyond. Join me again soon when I'll be chatting to another famous face from the world of motorsport. And in the meantime, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and check out the other videos on the Kerbs YouTube channel. And you can also listen to me talk about Formula 1 amongst other things over on the Undercut podcast. Away from YouTube, you can follow me over on Instagram at t.albers.daily.onthekerbs and read my various motorsport articles over on Is It Fast and Paddock Sorority. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next time for the next episode.